Welcome to this video about this Alpina SK24 from 1961, and in this video I will present it to you and tell you why it's, in my opinion, a very underrated typewriter. So let's just start right away. So the Alpina SK24 is pretty common here in Germany and you can see it very often, but unfortunately the most typewriter users, typewriter collectors, don't notice this machine. I guess because it has a plastic space lever, and yes, that's pretty uncommon for typewriters, and it also feels a bit weird, but it doesn't really matter because the space lever has high quality and it feels pretty nice, to be honest. And yes, maybe feels a bit weird, but also pretty nice. Yes, as I already mentioned, in my opinion this typewriter is typing pretty well and most people don't really notice this typewriter, and in this video I will show you the functions and how it types in the end. As you can see, the condition of this machine is quite nice. It has some scrapes on the paint, but that's not a big deal and doesn't really matter. So let's start with the functions. On the left side and on the right side you have your shift keys, and as you can see it has a carriage shift, but not the whole carriage is shifting up, just a small part, the platen and space lever and some parts up here. So it's pretty easy to push it down, and I guess for fast typers this is a pretty good aspect because you don't have to use a lot of force to push it down. Above the left shift key you have your caps lock, and above the caps lock you have a tabulator. You can just press it, and there, and now it's moving. You can put some stops and delete them with this lever on the right side of the typewriter, and you can delete all the stops with this lever down here next to the carriage release. On the right side of the typewriter you have your shift key, your tabulator stopper, your backspacer, and of course your color switch. You can switch between two tones and neutral, so blue, red and neutral. I have a one colored ribbon inside of the typewriter, so I'll just use blue. You can just pull the cover up, and as you can see there's also written how you put the ribbon inside the typewriter. It's the first time I see this, and I guess that's a pretty good idea. So here you have your ribbon spools, a 30mm color ribbon, and yes, that's the mechanics from the inside. Here you have your touch selector. You can select between 5 different modes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yes, on the platen you have your plastic paper pushers, and yes, that's mostly it. You can lock them in this position because you can remove the carriage. Yes, you can remove the carriage pretty easy on this typewriter. Just have to push the carriage to the right side. Then you have your lever. I think you can see it as the silver lever here. You can just push it down. And you also have this same lever on the left side. So you just push this lever down. I hope you can see it. There's this lever here. Just push it. And now you can remove the carriage. Very easy. You can see the mechanics of the carriage, and of course inside the typewriter. And as you can see, the typewriter is very clean. I spent a lot of time to clean this typewriter, and now it's finally done and the typewriter is typing amazing. So if you want to put the carriage back on, you just have to take it. Make sure that your plastic pushers up here are locked in the back position so you don't break them. Now you can just put the carriage back on the typewriter, so it moves again. Now you can put the levers back in the old position. And yes, that's how you move the carriage, and that's why you can lock these plastic pushers. And yes, if you want to put the cover back on, just push it on there. That's it. On the right carriage side you have your tabulator stop deleter. With this lever you can delete every stop on the line, and now the tabulator just moves without any stops. Right next to it you have your carriage release and your right hand platen knob. Above the platen knob you have your paper release, you can just push it forward and that's it. On the platen you again have a paper bale with an amazing construction up here. So there's a metal roller hold with a plastic construction on the paper bale, and yes, that works pretty good, and yes, that's of course a positive aspect. On the back you have your margin, your right margin and your left margin, and behind the margin you have a paper support. You just have to push this little button to the right, to the left. Yes, and that's it with the right carriage side and the back. If you have a look at the left carriage side, you can see the left platen knob, the left carriage release, and this plastic space lever. Yes, it works pretty common. And right next to the space lever you have your space adjustment. And yes, I already showed it by accident in the beginning of the video. You can push the space lever out. Now you can turn it against clockwise, so to the left. And now the space lever is flat, and now the typewriter fits into the case. I unfortunately don't have the case, but if you have one, make sure to turn the space lever to the left, and now you can easily put it in the typewriter in the case, because it's not that high anymore. Yes, that's it with the functions of the typewriter. I hope you learned something new with that. You can just move it. Of course, if you have the earlier Alpina SK24 that has a metal space lever, guess you don't have this function, but with the plastic space lever you have it. And yes, it works pretty nice. It moves smoothly and is silent. So let's go over to typing. Yes, I hope you could see how this typewriter types. In my opinion, when I firstly typed with this typewriter, I was really surprised because it's typing really well, and I enjoyed typing with this typewriter. I typed a few letters with it, and yes, I can just recommend buying this typewriter because it's typing pretty well. Unfortunately, this one is already sold, so it's not mine anymore. But if you can buy one, go for it. This typewriter is typing pretty amazing, and I like it really much. So that's it with today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See you the next time.